The way someone decorates their home says a lot about how they dress, even when they don't realize it. Interior design and fashion are both forms of self-expression, just shown in different spaces. One is what you wear on your body, and the other is what surrounds your body every day. When you look closely, the overlap is impossible to ignore. The colors people live with, the shapes they choose, whether they like clutter or empty space, comfort or drama, nostalgia or clean lines, all show up again in their clothes. Homes are slower than outfits. They don't change every season, so they often reveal the core of someone's taste more honestly. Fashion can be playful or experimental, but interiors usually reflect what someone wants to come home to, what makes them feel safe, inspired, or calm. That's why looking at interior design can tell you more about someone's real fashion preferences than any red carpet look ever could. Take Solange as a starting point. Her interior style is often described as organic modernism mixed with maximalism and a deep respect for black art and culture. Her spaces are warm, layered, and intentional. They aren't sterile or trendy for the sake of it. There's texture, there's history, and there's meaning behind what's on the walls and in the room. That same energy runs through her fashion. Solange's style has always been about structure mixed with softness, bold choices that still feel thoughtful, and an appreciation for designers, artists, and cultural references that go beyond surface level beauty. She wears color in a way that feels confident and rooted, not random. Just like her interiors, her clothes often play with shape, proportion, and movement, but never feel chaotic. Even when she's wearing something striking, it feels calm and grounded. That mirrors the way her home doesn't overwhelm you, even though there's a lot to look at. Both her fashion and her interiors feel like a reflection of someone who knows exactly who they are and doesn't need approval to prove it. Solange's love for black art and culture also connects directly to how she dresses. Her fashion choices often highlight black designers, black creativity, African and African American influences in a way that feels lived in, not performative. In her home, that same respect shows up through art, materials, and layout choices that feel personal and intentional. She isn't decorating to impress guests. She's decorating to honor herself and her roots. That's the same way she dresses. There's a sense of pride and purpose that links the two, showing how interior design and fashion can both become quiet forms of storytelling. Kendall Jenner's interior style tells a very different story, but it lines up just as clearly with how she dresses. Her home leans toward a mix of minimalism, bohemian influences, and what people sometimes call country or grandma chic. There's warmth, but it's controlled. Neutral colors, natural materials, and a lived-in feeling without clutter. It's not flashy or loud, and it doesn't try to be overly modern. That same approach shows up in her fashion. Kendall's style is known for being relaxed, simple, and slightly nostalgic. She wears a lot of basics, straight-leg jeans, vintage-looking pieces, soft knits, and earthy tones. Even when she's dressed up, it rarely feels forced. Her outfits often look like things someone could wear every day, just styled well. Her interior choices reflect a preference for comfort and familiarity over trend chasing. She likes pieces that feel like they have a story, even if they're subtle. That mirrors her love for vintage denim, old school silhouettes, and outfits that feel effortless rather than styled to death. There's also a rural, almost ranch-like feeling in her home that connects to her fashion love for boots, denim, and pieces that feel practical. Kendall's home doesn't scream luxury, even though it clearly is. In the same way, her clothes rarely scream designer, even when they are. Both her interior design and her fashion suggest someone who values ease, natural beauty, and a sense of calm. Dakota Johnson is another great example of how interior taste and fashion taste line up quietly. Her home has been described as mid-century modern but warm and inviting, with vintage and antique elements mixed in. It's not cold or museum-like. There's color, comfort, and a sense of personality that makes it feel lived in. That warmth carries straight into her fashion. Dakota's style is often described as simple, slightly retro, and relaxed. She wears a lot of clean silhouettes, soft fabrics, and pieces that feel timeless rather than trendy. There's often a 60s or 70s influence in both her interiors and her clothes, but it never feels costume-like. The way she blends vintage furniture with modern living is similar to how she dresses. She'll wear a classic dress, an old-school cut, or a simple top, but style it in a way that feels current. Her home reflects someone who likes things that age well. Nothing feels disposable. That same mindset shows up in her wardrobe choices, where she often sticks to pieces that could have existed in another decade, but still work now. There's also a softness to both her interiors and her fashion. Nothing feels harsh or overly structured. It's approachable, calm, and quietly stylish, which says a lot about her personal style. Tiana Taylor's interior style could not be more different, and again, it matches her fashion perfectly. Her home is bold, expressive, and imaginative, blending pop art, fantasy-inspired design, and references to movies and cartoons. It's playful, dramatic, and unapologetically her. That's exactly how Tiana dresses. Her fashion has always been about self-expression, performance, and creativity. She doesn't dress to blend in. She dresses to be seen, to tell a story, and to have fun. Her interiors reflect a love for visual storytelling, just like her clothes do. The colors, themes, and references in her home feel cinematic, which connects to how she approaches fashion as part of a larger creative vision. Whether she's wearing something sporty, dramatic, or completely unexpected, it always feels intentional. Her home works the same way. It's not trying to follow rules of what a grown-up home should look like. It's about fantasy, nostalgia, and creativity. That tells you her fashion preferences come from imagination first, not trends. Emma Chamberlain offers a more modern example of how younger generations blend interior style and fashion style. Her home leans toward minimalism, but with warmth, humor, and personality. It's not overly polished. There's a casual, almost messy charm to it that feels real. That same vibe shows up in how she dresses. Emma's fashion is known for being experimental, but also comfortable. She plays with silhouettes, oversized pieces, and unexpected combinations, but never looks uncomfortable in her own skin. Her interior style reflects someone who values authenticity over perfection. Things don't have to match perfectly, and that's okay. That same freedom shows up in her fashion. She doesn't dress to look flawless. She dresses to feel like herself. Her home feels like a place where she can relax and be weird, and her clothes often give off that same energy. There's also a sense of humor in both, which shows that interior design, like fashion, doesn't always have to be serious to be meaningful. Lenny Kravitz is another clear example of someone whose interior design and fashion speak the same language. His homes are known for being dramatic, moody, and filled with art, music history, and cultural references. There's a strong sense of identity in his spaces. They feel bold, masculine, and expressive without being cold. That directly mirrors his fashion style. Lenny dresses with confidence, mixing rock star energy with tailored pieces, leather, and statement looks that feel timeless rather than trendy. His interiors, like his clothes, feel curated but personal. Nothing feels random. There's a sense of depth, history, and emotion. That tells you his fashion isn't about following what's popular. It's about building a look that reflects his life, his influences, and his personality. His home and his wardrobe both feel like an extension of his creative identity. Kim Kardashian is another very clear example of how interior design and fashion can align almost too perfectly. Her home is famously minimal, filled with neutral tones like beige, cream, and off-white. It's stripped back, calm, and almost empty in feeling. This reflects how she wore, specifically during her marriage to Kanye West. She wore a lot of neutral sweats, simple silhouettes, body-hugging basics, and muted colors. Her outfits during that period mirrored the same idea as her home: clean, controlled, and focused on shape rather than decoration. That era showed how deeply lifestyle and surroundings can influence fashion choices. The neutral, almost quiet environment she lives in matched the uniform-like way she used to dress. There was a focus on simplicity and form, not excess. Whether people loved or hated that look, it was consistent. Her home and her wardrobe felt like parts of the same world. It showed how interior design can reflect not just personal taste, but also the mindset someone is in at a certain point in their life. What all these examples show is that interior design and fashion are really about the same thing. They both answer the question of how someone wants to feel. Some people want calm, others want excitement. Some want comfort, others want drama. Some want nostalgia, and others want clean lines. Those preferences show up in both closets and living rooms. When someone loves color, texture, and storytelling in their home, they often dress with the same confidence and creativity. When someone prefers neutral tones and simple lines in their space, their fashion usually follows suit. Homes are slower to change than outfits, so they often reveal the foundation of someone's style. Trends come and go, but the way someone chooses to live tends to stay consistent. That's why looking at interiors gives such a clear window into fashion preferences. It's not about copying a celebrity's look or decor, but about understanding that style is a full picture thing. It's how you dress, how you decorate, how you move through the world, and what makes you feel most like yourself. In the end, interior design and fashion are two sides of the same coin. One dresses the body, the other dresses the life. When they align, it's usually because the person knows who they are, what they like, and what they don't need to prove. That's where real style lives, not in trends, but in consistency, comfort, and self-awareness.